Hello, traveling gurus. Welcome back. Okay, how are you guys doing today? Okay, if you are new to the channel, I want to go ahead and welcome you. If you are a returning subscriber and a day one, I want to say, hey, my gurus. Okay, keeping in mind, my love, that I am not your guru. I am not your master. Okay, you are your own guru. You are your own master. No one can save you but yourself. All right, now here on this channel, we study patterns, archetype, as well as numerology, astrology, okay, allegories, right? Anything that we can get more understanding and know thyself is what we do here on this channel, all right? So we're going to go ahead and jump into the message for today. All right, I want to just let you know, grab your water. We are charging our water. So go ahead and grab your water. I am going to be ordering a microphone because I was told that the sound, because there's not a lot of padding in this room, the sound is very bright, right? So it's a lot of bouncing of the sound off of the wall, so I am as close to the microphone on this recording device. But I am going to be, I have a microphone, y'all. I do. But I move around, so I need like a bigger microphone. So I haven't plugged this one in today. But that's why maybe sometimes in my other videos you may hear I'm clearer than I move around, y'all. So I need a bigger microphone because this little one is perfect, but I can't hold it and shuffle the cards, okay? All right, with that being said, grab your water, all right? I feel like I need to go ahead and give a disclaimer because I haven't really been doing that. Okay, so here's my disclaimer, right? So these videos are for anyone that's on their spiritual journey, whether you call it an ascension or awakening or a remembering, okay? On this channel, we study archetypes, allegories, astrology, numerology, spirituality, anything that really taps us into who we are. Okay, so you want to go ahead and take what you need, leave what you don't, shelf what you don't understand, circle on back. Okay, we're here to gain some inspiration, motivation, confirmation, or shit. Just you know how you know something is going on, but you can't quite articulate what's going on, but you know something is going on, but you don't have the words. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're here on the channel. Okay. You want to keep in mind also that access is granted to you based on your inner knowing and your inner belief system, okay? So you don't believe that you can have or do something, it is not yours to have via universal law, okay? Because you can experience whatever it is your heart's desire truly, okay? Energetically, you need to know that energy is fluid, so place the energy where you need to place it. And last but not least, you also need to know that I am not your guru once again. You are your own guru, okay? So if you need to research about water and the properties of water and how you can charge it, you can go ahead and study to show thyself approved. If you need to go ahead and research why I'm sounding the tones, you can go ahead and do that. Study to show thyself approved, okay? So with that being said, we're going to sound the tone and charge our water, all right? We are charging our water with the 3 tones of love that we've been working on, which is safety, trust, and stability. Okay, go back and watch the previous content and you can get caught up on that, all right? With that being said, you're going to hear 4 tones. The first tone is going to be for the fire element. So if you're an Aries, if you are a Leo or a Sagittarius, this tone represents your element, okay? But if you are not an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, you are going to apply this tone to your actions, your reactions, or your willpower, okay? Now, the next tone you're going to hear is going to be for the water elements, okay? So if you are a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, that tone is going to be for you. But if you are not a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, you're going to apply this archetype or this element or this vibrational resonance, right, to the water elements, okay? Which will represent in your experience as your intuition, your emotions, which are really frequency indicators, right? And your imagination, okay? With that being said, we're going to also move on to the air element. Okay, that air element is going to be for the wonderful signs of Gemini, Libras, and Aquarius. So if you're not a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, you're going to apply this energy to your thoughts, your thinking, your deductive reasoning skills. Okay? All right, and last but not least, the last tone that you're going to hear is for the earth elements, and that is going to be for Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. If you are not a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn, you want to apply this to the physical realm. Okay, this is your house, the car, the bills, you know, the tangible things. All right. Now, with that being said, we study archetypes and energy here. You are not just supposed to master your sun sign or your moon sign. The goal is to master all aspects of the zodiac wheel because they're all aspects within your psyche. Okay, they're all aspects of you. All right, with that being said, let's sound the tone and charge our water. First tone. Second tone. Third tone. Fourth tone. That fourth tone was sharp. All right, something's going on in the physical realm. That fourth tone was sharp. It was level, but it came in kind of hard. All right. Okay, so let's take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so today is Monday. Okay. Monday represents, and I also want to point out that you got 3 number 2 in the date. So that's definitely oversensitive emotional energy in the atmosphere, just so you know. Okay, just so you know. Just so you know. Okay. Okay. And also, you do need to know when we are talking about the energy in which governs the moon, right? We're talking about energy where your intuition comes into play. We're talking about energy where your emotions come into play. We're talking about energy where your instincts comes into play. We're talking about energy where it feels familiar. We're talking about energy that's cyclical, right? There's cycles. We're also talking about energy that's feminine in nature, right? It's feminine energy, all right? The moon is feminine energy because it deals with your emotions, it deals with your intuition, it deals with the rhythms of the world. The moon also deals with rituals, okay? And it deals with security. It deals with nature, okay? It deals with also the maternal realm, okay? So we're talking about your family. Okay, we're talking about the people that you love. We're talking about your commitments. Okay, these are things that the moon deals with also. Okay, so even if you are not a Cancer sign, because the moon rules Cancer, these are things that the moon deals with. Okay, so a couple of the things that we're going to be focusing on in this energy today is your instincts and your intuition. Okay. Remember, yesterday, the energy of the week kicked off healed alignment. Okay, we knew that we stepped into a new way of moving, right, in alignment, right, and it's the movement of being healed. No longer moving from a space of reaction. Okay, we're no longer reacting. We're moving with purpose. Okay, and we dealt with that in yesterday's energy. So as we continue the week now, remember I told you guys, right? The planets are what's governing how this thing is playing out. Okay. Yesterday we were talking about the planet of the sun, and the planet of the sun told us how we were fit to kick this week off, right? Now today the moon is going to tell us how we should feel, right? As we move through this week. What are we honing on in our feelings? Now, let's take a look, and we're going to pull out Cancer's energy here because Cancer is ruled by the moon. And the archetype of Cancer's energy asks you to tap into your feelings, and it's also ruling family and commitments. Okay, this energy has to do with core family movements, commitments, okay, and how you feel about those things. All right, so we're tapping into your instincts and your intuition, especially to the things that you commit yourself to emotionally. All right? Let's take a look at how we need to feel about the things that we're committing ourselves to emotionally, especially as we've taken on a new perspective in this healed alignment energy that we're now moving with, okay? What's the message today as we've stepped into healed alignment? What's going on in the vibes of our feelings, especially around family and the things that we're committed to that we love? What's the message? What's the message? What's the message? Cancer. I can't make this shit up. You got Cancer. Ooh, baby. I like it when the cards come through. Okay. The overall message here is the moon in Cancer, right? Come on now. Come on now. Come on with it, right? The moon in Cancer. Very introspective energy and very sensitive energy. This lets me know, and it also says here like belonging, right? And energetically, what I'm picking up here is you don't have to second guess yourself no more, honey. Okay? You don't got to second guess yourself no more. That's what I feel with this energy. Remember, we kicked off the week with healed alignment, right? So now you're stepping into a place of belonging. You don't have to look outside yourself anymore. All right, so we're going to build on that. Okay, we know the moon is in Cancer. We know that it is very introspective energy. We also know, right, that this has to do with commitments. It has to do with family, okay? The things that you love. This is your solid core. Okay, you also need to know that Cancer, let me just show you this real quick. Cancer is a negative polarity, which means that it is feminine in nature. Okay, which means that it is feminine in nature, is going to be moving based on the spiritual realm, and there's going to be a lot of maybe things that you cannot necessarily see, but you can pick up energetically, you can feel. Okay, this is also a cardinal sign, which means that it's not like the energy from yesterday when we were dealing with the sun. This can be a lot more flexible. It can go with the flow. Okay, it can be up and down. This is why people's emotions can change in the blink of an eye. All right. This energy also rules the breast and the stomach. So when we're talking about it, we're talking about your heart and your gut. You know, when you get your heart your gut feeling, or you're speaking from the heart. So we're speaking of matters that concern the heart, especially a sense of belonging. Remember yesterday in healed alignment, the energy was telling us this is a new way of feeling what home feels like to you, right? A sense of belonging. What belongs and what doesn't, okay? Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me how you really feel. I don't know whose song that is, y'all. I don't know, y'all. I don't know whose song that is, but tell me how you really feel. Okay, go ahead. We're clarifying this energy. Go ahead. What you want us to know? I don't have a title for this video today. We really just reading the energy, okay? Masculine energy, okay. Masculine energy has to do with logic, thoughts, right? Deductive reasoning, right? This can also deal with energy of protection, okay? This could also represent maybe the masculine person in your situation. But I really feel like this has to do more energetically with you building a new home and having a new perspective. So this to me means protection, right? And because we're dealing with Cancer, you're feeling your home. The fact that the masculine energy comes out here lets me know that you're protecting, right? You're protecting yourself energetically. You're protecting your energetic currency, right? There is a sense of belonging that's coming from within now. You're no longer seeking outside of yourself. So there is no need to do a lot. There's no need to do a lot. Like, I kind of feel like, you only address the thing. I feel like very manly, like energy coming forward. Like, things that are trivial, that does not require your effort or your energetic foundation. You're not even giving that shit no feelings. You're no longer putting feelings or matching feelings with anything that's not within your fucking heel alignment walk. You're not. The void. And can I just say that you've gotten comfortable in the void? And that's not, and let me just say this, because, sometimes some people run away from actually spending time with themselves, right? I was having a conversation with my girlfriend. I told y'all about that conversation, a 5-hour conversation. Y'all. We was catching up. I haven't spoken to her in months. And one of the things that we were talking about is being able to sit in that dark place and sit with yourself and sit and be okay with being in your own company, right? Usually when you're in the space of the void, you don't want to do anything. You really just want to rest. You really just want to rest, right? Because when you're in the space of a void and you're looking through the eyes of astrology, there's nothing happening. Right? It's kind of like a stage switch out, right? If you can think about when the curtain comes down during intermission of a show, that's kind of like what the void is, right? So not only are you protecting, I feel like you are protecting your peace and the things that you committed yourself to energetically. You're protecting your peace, ooh, baby, and you're using wisdom. There's no longer like pouring outside of yourself. And in bottom of the deck, I think this matches the void. I feel like you have gotten to a place where you've committed and done the work. Now you can rest. You're now in a place that you're resilient. You can go through anything. You can get through anything. And we talked about some of the things that you had to get through yesterday, right? This is where that confidence was coming in. Man, listen. The shit that I've had to go through have let me know I'm resilient. So I told you I was talking to my girlfriend the other day. I said to her, in spending time with myself, which is really this void place, I said, I realize how fucking cool I am. I said, I realized how cool I am. I said, girl, one day I was up in here. I said, I was up in here, just me, in the universe, me and my guides and stuff, And I was hanging out with myself and I was enjoying myself. And I'm like, damn, I'm a fucking cool person to hang out with. I actually enjoy my own company. Like, I'm the shit. I don't know if y'all get this. Have you ever realized how fucking cool you are? How cool you are, right? How cool you are. When you start to look at your conversations with people and how, you leave people feeling full and you walk away feeling full with some people, and some people you don't. But even the people that you don't walk away feeling full from, like you feel man, listen. I awoke into how resilient I was, how cool I was, right? When you've been through some things. See, and some people, you were sitting in this void, in this dark space for a long time, right? For some people, this was not an easy journey, right? This wisdom over here that you got came from this right here. Look at this. See how, even though and you know what this reminds me of? Like a dung beetle. When the dung beetles, the poop, the shit that they roll up. This is what this reminds me of. So this reminds me of like the beetles, and how you can still have life growing out of shit. You can still go through shit and grow. We're going to clarify the masculine energy. We're going to clarify this masculine energy. You know that you've now found the sense of belonging because you did the work. You've had to sit through some shit. Okay? The wisdom that you now have was not given to you. It was earned. Come on now. I can't make this shit up. The masculine energy is here because it's protecting this prosperity that you have ahead. We got new moon energy in Taurus. Taurus represents what you have, right? Taurus's energy represents what you have. So even if you're not a Taurus, let's talk about what you have, your luxuries, your stability. Okay. I'm going to tell you something about Tauruses. They don't like you coming in and fucking up their stability. No, the fuck they don't. They're about their coins and their money, but they're about they like that shit flowing. They like stability. And I can also say that Taurus could be one of those friends that you go to get that solid advice if they've been doing their work. Like they solid. That's that friend that you know you can call that solid if they doing their work. Or they could be solid on some bullshit too, you know. Either which way they're going to be solid. Either solid in the bullshit or solidly stable, right? Okay, so let's just know that prosperity lies ahead. That's what you're feeling. That's what you're feeling. You now have this new perspective on all of the shit that you've been through because you now are aware that you are in healed alignment. There's a new perspective and you're protecting that. Oh, you're protecting that shit. Oh, you're protecting it. You're protecting it. By all means necessary. Okay. All right, give us the energy for the void. Give us the energy. What you want us to know about this void? What do you want us to know about the void? What are we supposed to know about the void? What are we supposed to know about how we feel about this void? What are we supposed to know about the feeling of this void? Ooh, 3 cards. Let's take a look. They want you to know that in this void, okay, you're very close to achieving what you want. Have faith for your dreams. Adjustments will be required. Adjustments will be required. As a matter of fact, let's find out what adjustments will be required. What adjustment is going to be required as we are walking through this void of healed alignment? What adjustments will be required as we are walking through this healed alignment? Oh, fuck, I can't make this shit up. Y'all see what they say? The adjustment that's going to be required is love. I can't wait for the recap. Moving along. I don't even need to clarify this no more. If you're feeling like you in the void and you feeling like you do not know how anything is going to play out, but you're not trying to force it, and you don't even know how to move right now, they're saying move in love because you're in the void. And as you move in love, they want you to know very close to achieving your goals. Have faith. Okay. And the adjustment that's going to be required to get through this is love. I love when the cards don't lie, honey. I love when the cards is confirming the vibrational frequency that we done tapped into. I love it. I love it. All right, what do you want us to know about this wisdom that we done stepped into? What do you want us to know and feel about this wisdom that we stepped into? What is the feeling you want us to be aware of as we are stepping into this wisdom? This wisdom needs to be balanced with spirituality and practicality. You do have the moon in Pisces, which means that you need to be very careful that you're not wearing rose-colored glasses. Okay? You need to be very careful with making sure you're taking accountability for your shit. You're not only supposed to be preaching. How about practicing what you preach? Or maybe stop preaching and practice. Hello. I know I had to. Hence why I'm up on here posting every day then. Got to commit yourself to something, right? And you got to be practical. The energy right now is thick out in these energetic streets, right, honey? So energy, you got to go ahead and Vet the energy, right? That's practicality. Vet the energy. Is it practical for you to go into a high anxiety place and feel like you're not supposed to feel none of the anxiety without grounding yourself first? Come on now. Is it practical to go outside when it's raining, pouring heavy rain down without an umbrella? No, it's not. It ain't. You will have to balance some things. This means actually use the wisdom that you gained over the years through the pain, the disappointment. It's time for you now to utilize everything that you've learned. That's what that's saying. And honestly, I really feel like less is more here, right? I feel like less is more here. I feel like it is not. You know what song is coming up in my head? And I've been hearing that song for a few days now because I think last week that was one of the messages. They don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You're not in the business of saving nobody no more. As a matter of fact, you're not even trying to out-talk people of their bullshit no more. You're not even, you're not even, before where you weren't co-signing, but you might have tried to give some wisdom or some advice. You're not even trying to do that no more. Clarify balancing your spirituality with practicality. What do you want us to know about balancing our spirituality with practicality? 2 cards jumped out, y'all. Focus and risk. Take a leap of faith. Focus. Stop thinking about everybody. And remember, that fits. So how the youngins would say that tracks, because right now we're talking about the things that you need to feel, especially when it comes to the things that you committed yourself to. Focus and being able to take the risk. Full moon in Pisces. When a full moon is in play, that's energy of releasing something, which means you're fully open, though. You gotta understand that you're fully open. So be focused. You can't be fully open and then have your energy just like shooting all over the place, right? Some of you do need to take that risk. Okay, let's do this. Let me clarify risk. Alright, so we're going to clarify what you need to focus on in the risks. Clarify, focus, and risk. Okay. I can't. Discover new world, intuitive wisdom, and new territory. Unlock the ultimate truth. Let's get one more. Actually, 2 more jumped out. And the first one says, unspeakable, there are obstacles. Suffering from mental health harnesses your inner strength, overcoming obstacles. Yeah, I can say, because now like I said, now you're no longer running from things. You're dealing with things using the wisdom that you have. You have a new perspective. We went over that energy yesterday. There's a new perspective now. The obstacles that you once saw, they're now lessons. Yep, I can't make this stuff up. Watch. Look. Clarity as you wish. Stay present. Truth emerges. Come on now, y'all. Come on now. Come on. All right, let's see what resilience. Okay, what do you want to tell us about how we feel about being resilient? What do you need to share? Oh, come on. We're not doing all of that, y'all. Yeah, no. And I gotta say, these cards, I've had these cards for a little while, y'all. So these cards, if you can see, like, and I want to say, like, the texture, what do they call that? They're not as thick. They're little, All right, go ahead. Resilient. What do you want us to know about feeling towards being resilient? What do you need to release? What do you need to release? Let's clarify what we need for this. That's why you've been resilient. Obedience. We're gonna pull one more because do I really need to pull another card though? I feel like this is you standing on your square. Look. Do you see the square right here that she's standing on? When we talk about a square in astrology, that's a 90-degree obstacle, okay? 9 plus 0 equals 9. 9 equals a number of completion, right? 90-degree in astrology means a square. That means obstacles, right? So it's saying be obedient. Everything that you think is an obstacle is not an obstacle. Look, she got the sword, right? She also has the scales. So if we're doing any type of mysticism here, we know that the sword represents your words, okay? And we also know that the balancing of the scale represents cause and effect, karma. The universe don't do blind justice. So you need to be mindful of your words and understand cause and effect. Don't do shit to nobody else that you don't want done to yourself, right? Universe does not do blind justice. Don't do no shit to nobody that you don't want done to yourself. That's the obedience. That's the rule. I cannot make this shit up. What this say right here? Find harmony. Remember your worth. Rejection, self-sacrifice depletes your essence. Come on, listen, y'all. I can't. Okay. This message is done. This message is done. Yeah, we done. Excessive anxiety overwhelms. Cultivate life's equilibrium by finding harmony in chaos. We done. As a matter of fact, that's going to be the name of the video. Finding harmony in chaos. You've learned to find harmony in chaos. I need to write that down so I don't forget that. You learned to find harmony in chaos. Period. And let me just also say this, we just because we gonna do it, right? Today is 3/2 Gregorian calendar with this fake date. Right? You got 3. You got 2, you got 2, you got 2, and you got 6. Right? Line of frustration is still here. And I want to say this is a line of disorder. So this is a line of frustration. So frustration, this is where you're going to see people, especially people that has the birth date, like any child that's born on today's date, just know that they automatically got the line of frustration running through their day. Automatically. Okay? Automatically. Yep, it's the line of disorder, okay? And anybody, not only do they have the line of frustration, but they also have the line of disorder running through their day. And disorder. So you got this arrow going this way, you got this arrow coming down that way, right? This is what it looks like in numerology. In numerology, if I had to do a date, if I had to do the date of birth for someone that was born today, this is what it would look like. And it lets me know a few things. They already coming in with disorder. Okay, so this person may exemplify a lot of disorder where you may see disorder. Okay, they may see order. So you can walk in, their shit might be messy, but they know where everything is, okay? When you see the line of frustration, this is where people set themselves up to be frustrated. You know you're running late, but instead of giving yourself more time, you're not going to do that. Like always creating circumstances where you're going to be frustrating yourself. And you can't help yourself, right? Because if you don't know that this is in your chart, you don't know that you have to master this. Not to mention right here, you got 222s in a date. This is hypersensitivity. People that don't know how to deal with their emotions very well and express themselves. This is people that can be easily getting their feelings hurt, right? Easily getting their feelings hurt with those triple twos in a day. Just a little, just a little twister for how this energy is moving, with people born today or with anybody that has those sequence of numbers in their birthday. Okay. All right. On that note, my loves, y'all know the deal. You want to go ahead and do something kind for yourself because you absolutely should. Yes, you should. Absolutely. Right? If you do not fill your own internal well, your cup cannot runneth over, which means that you don't have nothing to share with nobody. How you can pour out of your cup if your cup is empty, right? Your cup should be running over so you can share. And that first comes from you being able to give to yourself. It comes from within first, okay? So go ahead and do something kind for yourself because you should, all right? And you want to do something kind for somebody else. Not because you should, but because you can, right? Happiness is contagious. Joy is contagious. Laughter is contagious. A smile is contagious. And a smile can change somebody else's day, for the better. Okay? All right, my love. So on that note, I love and appreciate each and every one of you, my lovely, lovely soul traveling gurus. I will see you guys in the next video. This message is over and out.